Happy Friday Eve, everybody. My one viewer. Welcome, welcome. So, happy Friday Eve. Hope your week is going well. I'm not really sure what the heck I want to do tonight. So we have the robot that we worked on from last week, which is way out of focus. Is autofocus turned on? No? I don't know what's going on with my camera. So we have the robot that we worked on from last week. We have the next robot in line sitting here on the desk. And we also have, I was thinking about building some miniatures. So I have the new Beast Hunter for Infinity that came out that matches the Yu-Ching aesthetic. Real excited about that one. So I was thinking maybe we do a little bit of work on this robot. We build the new mini, and then if we get to it, we work on painting the green and the decals on this one. Also on this one, I'm gonna take it a little bit further on. We'll get this focused, or configure. There we go. Okay, so I was thinking about working on this one and doing a little bit extra with like the orange shadowing. So I was thinking about taking an orange and glazing it over some of the larger areas to create a gradient on the yellow itself, before moving on to the white decals and stuff like that. Also, when we build her, I have an old Yu-Ching Shang-Chi. There's a Shang-Chi Invincible. This is from the old version of the game, or an older version, so they're smaller models, right? This is from, I think, N3 version of the roll, and look at that. More cake on our Infinity sculpts. I'm telling you, someone at Corvus Belli is doing this intentionally. So we got this model with some other old models that I purchased. And I want to get him on a base, get some texture paste and stuff on there, and then I can work on him when I work on all my other Shang-Chi Invincibles. I'm going to work on this guy. But if I am going to work on him this evening, I have to pin him. Pinning metal models is interesting, especially with the fact that like the only spot to pin him is like his foot here, which is super thin if you can't see it, or this foot, and then going in through like the base of the heel, which is also really thin. So that'll be fun. I'll probably have to use a hand drill, not my electric drill, because I don't want to fuck it up. Or just risk gluing him directly on top of the base. But I don't know if I want to do that either. So, I think that's the plan tonight. How are we doing this week? Hopefully everyone is having a good week so far. Hopefully your Thursday was better than mine. And hopefully your Friday will be easy, light workload, Friday-itis all the way, all day. Okay, we're not gonna use this. There it is. My paint handle. So I think we're gonna do the snow on this, and then we'll jump over to doing a little bit of building. I think I need an even bigger brush than I normally do. Break out the nice big brush. For our snow. Oh, that's interesting. Wonder how I get that to update. What happens if I just unlock you? It's interesting, the subscriber goal says 3, but we're back down to 2 because people probably need to resubscribe with Amazon Prime. And don't forget, if you are subscribing to the channel with an Amazon Prime membership, you have to resubscribe every month with your Amazon Prime. And again, it costs you nothing. I get a portion of that, and so does Amazon. So, yep, Amazon Prime members, it is free to subscribe to 1 channel per month on Twitch. Costs you nothing, and I get Jeff Bezos' money, which is the best. No, let's see, I want... I don't know. I'll have to figure it out later so that it updates. Okay, snow. I almost wonder if I should use a different tool. And we're gonna use the brush to spread it out on the base, but I wonder if we can just like scoop it out. Yeah, there we go. Scoop it out of there. Scoopski potato. Also, I know what you guys are thinking. You're like, Multiverse, why would you have done all this wonderful work on your weathering and stuff like that and cover it with snow? I hear you. I understand what is going through your head. But also, the Zanshi kind of lived in an environment like they were done, and I realized, I was like, man, they look like they're in an area of snow and snowstorm and stuff like that, but like their clothing and their armor are like all perfect, and like that is, you know, what the box art shows, which is what I wanted. But with these, since we're deviating a bit from the box art itself, I figure why not really make it look like it like lives or is in this environment, like it got stuck outside in a snowstorm and has like battle damage and rust and like snow on it, right? So like I'm trying something here. We'll see what it looks like, see how it comes out. I'm not like, I don't know if I'm going to do it on the second one or not, or if I'm just going to leave it, but we'll see. See what people think. See whether or not we like it. I feel like it adds a little bit of extra visual interest. But it doesn't take away from the other things that we've done with like the weathering and the battle damage. You know, I could do it on this one and totally hate it, and then on the next one we just don't. Right? But you don't know until you try. And like all of the models in my White Banner Force are going to have snow on their bases, so I don't see why the models that are bigger, where they can have surfaces where snow would collect, wouldn't be covered in snow, or at least have snow on them in some way, right? So that's what made me make this choice. See if it is a good or a bad one. I still want some of the ground visible, but I also still want lots of snow on there to look like it's nice and thick and in an environment where the snow is like not fully melted, but like there's piles of it. Howdy, Katerina, how are you? Or Katrina? I'll get your name right eventually. But I make no promises to, you know, get it right. How are you? How's your week going so far? Hopefully you had a better Thursday than I did. You weren't here at the beginning of the stream, so we're gonna kind of jump around tonight and see where the winds take us. So we have the robot from last week that I'm adding snow to. And technically, after the snow, the only thing left is the non-metallic metal, which I did not feel like doing the technical paint job of non-metallic metal tonight. So we're going to do the snow, and then we're probably going to build some miniatures. I have a new Infinity model that I got about a week ago that was a pre-order. And it's called a Beast Hunter. This is the new Beast Hunter miniature for Infinity. And she has more of a Yu Ching aesthetic to her. So I picked her up and am looking forward to painting her. And then maybe after we're done building her, we'll jump into painting or starting to paint the other robot. Doing nothing. Ugh. Had the whole week off and then had the luxury of doing nothing. Must be nice. Wish I could take a whole week off. I have to save all my PTO for October. That was the one downside to switching companies, was that I lost my 3 weeks of PTO that I had at my old job. Come to a new job and then not have no PTO and then 1 week, and now this year I get 2. I think I have to work there for another like 2 years to get 3. Kind of a forced week off. Mandatory to do it at least once every 12 months. Well, that kind of sucks. Your job is like, you're working too much, take a vacation. I don't know if I would want that. I would more be like, listen, I'll take my vacation when I'm ready, but I will take a vacation. Ooh. Has to be consecutive 5 business days too. Oh god, that sucks. But also, yes, he has so much snow because I don't want to do the non-metallic metal silver on him. So I'm trying to like cover up set portions of it so that I don't have to do it later. And if I cover it with snow, I'd be like, oh no, I can't paint it. It's all a clever ploy, you see, to make it look weathered, but also so that I don't have to work as hard to paint things. Like, I'll do some of it, but I'm gonna try to do as little of it as humanly possible, to be fair. But yeah, I would love to have a full week off. That's great. But again, I'm saving all my PTO for October. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm super excited about October, but I wish I had that option to like take a little bit of vacation that isn't the wedding. But like using all of it up during the wedding is like, you know, what it's there for, I guess, right? Because boy, wouldn't that suck, going to another country to spend all that money on a wedding and then not being paid. Like, I would get the time off. Like, my company would let me take the time. It just wouldn't get paid for it. Like, my bachelor party, I'm not going to get paid for the days that I'm taking off. But I still got to prove to take those days off. For the next mini trip tonight, so I will probably be in and out of chat. Could you raise the volume? What volume needs to go up? Is it my microphone, or should I turn the music volume down? My microphone is turned almost all the way up. So maybe we'll just lower the music a little bit and then increase the volume on the microphone. I've also, I'm still kind of playing with my sound settings, because in my VODs, I'm not very loud while I'm talking on stream. So like, I definitely need to lock in and figure out the microphone situation, because it is not going great on my VODs. I think that looks good. Looks like he lives in an environment where it's snowy, maybe outside during snowstorms frequently. How does he look menacing with the snow? I don't think the point is that he looks menacing. The point is that he's designed to look like he lives in the environment of a snowy place, and potentially like it's a robot that gets neglected and like left outside or something. Like, that's kind of the vibe that I'm going for. Oh, that's super dry. Alright, well, that's stuck there now. I'm not gonna mess with that and hope that I like clear it off and strip paint. What if I use some water? Will that thin you down or reactivate it? Enough that I can pull it away? Maybe? No? Okay, cool. That's fine. Yeah, I don't think he's supposed to look menacing. It's supposed to look more like he's in an environment where he's like weathered by snowstorms and harsh environments. But still like having fun details and stuff painted and that I did. So like, I don't know. We're experimenting. So we'll go ahead and pull him off, let that dry. And then we're gonna work on doing a little bit of building. Boy, I really should have opened this before I started the stream to see if I was missing any parts. Wouldn't that be embarrassing? Like, we're gonna build some miniatures. And then it's just missing pieces. I wouldn't be questioning on whether or not it would be missing pieces if I hadn't just gotten some Warcrow miniatures that were missing pieces, and I had to make a claim with Corvus Belli to be like, hey, send me the parts that are not in this. No, not a Kickstarter, just their general models, right? This isn't a Kickstarter mini, this is just a new release that came out for March of a model that was, they already have an existing sculpt for the Beast Hunter, but it looks different than this one. It doesn't have the white and yellow ute and like the big Asian sword aesthetic that is like, it screams Yu Ching that matches my army. So and I have the other sculpt, but I saw this one, I was like, oh shit, I gotta get this. It's super cool looking. Also, she doesn't have a big, long, thin, flimsy sword like the other sculpt. See, this is the fun part, figuring out what here is supposed to be part of the model and what part is flash that needs to be cut away. That's flash. Wow, you picked a terrible spot for that, Corvus Belli. She's got a heel, right? Like right here, she has a heel on her foot. I don't know if you guys can see it. There we go. She's got that heel on her foot, and then on this side, the heel on her foot is like right here. Right? It's right here on the back side, but it's also in the middle of a bunch of like mold filling, like where the mold got filled in here, there you go. You can see it. So on this, that's the edge of her heel. on the bottom side of the blade of the X-Acto, and then everything in between here is flash from where the mold filled in at. That's gonna be a pain in the butt to cut out. Yeah, from the filling hole. So computer models are cast, right? It's like a mold, and then they pour molten metal into the mold, and then it spins and, you know, like pushes. When it spins, it pushes the metal out into the molds in like a circular mold. So where it fills in, like you can see it here, right? This part is the edge of the mold where it fills in the metal to go into all the parts. So when the part down here on her foot is where the metal got pushed in through the mold, into the mold, but her heel is consumed by where the metal injects into the mold. So that's fun. I'm sure most people probably won't even bother with this. Like, they'll just leave this metal here. But I'm a perfectionist, and knowing that it's there will drive me crazy if I don't clear it. I don't want to be too aggressive here because I don't want to cut the heel off. Okay. That's not terrible. See if I can shave some pieces off of here. You know what? I think that's an acceptable amount right there. I might just hit that with a file. That's the one. Nope, not the one I want. This one. She's standing so funny. Like, she's just bow-legged with her feet pointing into one another and be like, meh. So surprisingly, the main body doesn't have a lot of mold lines, which is nice. So now we can move on to our little bits and pieces. Ooh, that's a big one. I've been in a building mood recently. I've been working on putting together some of my Age of Sigmar army, the Lumineth Realm Lords. So putting together elves, and then over this past weekend, I did my first ever game demo for Warcrow, and I picked up, I guess, the action pack that I purchased had the data card for a model that didn't come in the pack, so I picked up that, and that was my thing that was missing parts. And then I primed all of my Warcrow models and that led me into the building. Which Warcrow, my army, is also elves, but this time instead of it being high elves, it's wood elves. So how does this fit together? Right, is this I don't think this is part of her arm. I think this is Flash. Alright, so let's see the picture. Ooh, more parts that I need to cut away. I feel like I cut away a part that I might have needed. Which happens far more frequently than you think it would on metal models. Okay. We'll have to reassess that in a minute. We could get the rest of this cut out and go from there. Let's pull up some pictures. See if I can find a better view of, or a different angle. No? Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to search for it. Search. Okay. That's a way better view. So yeah, this is supposed to go like way back here. Ah, there's the little slot for it. So yeah, this stops right here, and this is extra. Okay, so there's a little, this little notch. Fits into there. Ah, there it is. Wow, she's like super straddling that fucking sword. That's funny. I mean, I knew she was like straddling it, but it was, I thought it was like away from the model a little bit more. I might be able to bend it some. Okay, so we know how that piece fits. A lot of fantasy depictions make elves out to be either too hot for their own good or children. I never know which one I'm going to get when someone mentions them. So, let's see. Do I have a picture of the elves? The box is all packed away. So, actually, I think they did elves really good in Warcrow. I don't think they fall into the category of too hot for their own good. But they're not also, but neither are they children. So let's see. Let's see if I can get a picture. There it goes. Okay. So let's see if we can do screen capture. There we go. So these are the elves for Warcrow. These are the Siennan elves. So very, very wood elfy, but also not your stereotypical Lord of the Rings type of elves. Even doing an African skin tone, like they feel kinda like a combination of like maybe Native American-y or yeah, they look really nice. So I'm excited to work on those. And of course those are just like the basic like troops that you can get. They get cooler, more interesting models when you buy other packages of stuff. Like these ones are also super cool. These are officers or something, wardens. They've got these super cool, like this sword looks like something out of Lord of the Rings. The armor looks like stuff out of Lord of the Rings, but like they still don't fit the like too pretty for their own good comment. So yeah, there's definitely some really cool models in this game, and also like genuinely the games seem like they'll go pretty quick, like not take as long as a game of Infinity, but also like less than the time of a game of Warhammer. Like when I played Warhammer, I could knock out a 2,000 point game in like hour and a half, 2 hours, which technically you're supposed to be able to do a 300 point game of Infinity at that time period, but I can't, at least not yet. I'm not proficient enough with the rules and decisive enough with like how to work my army to hit that time on a game of Infinity, like a full 300 point game. Warcrow, which is what these elves are for, genuinely seems like you could knock out a full point value game in like an hour. The rules are pretty quick, easy to learn, and like you're not managing a bunch of different like models and units and stuff, so like the level of decision making, I mean there is still a level of decision making, obviously it's a tactical war game, but it's nowhere near as high or in depth as Infinity. I think it's probably on par with Warhammer on like the level of complexity on decisions. And I'm sure it will get more complex the more points that you incorporate into it, but like at its core and baseline, it's not that bad. Like I did an intro game with Skylar for Infinity and it took like 2 hours. Which, to be fair, let me correct that. The intro game that I did with him, the demo, which was only a few models, took like 45 minutes. We did a 200 point game, the one where he now has trauma with the robots, and that took about 2.5 hours, maybe 3. But that was his first like foray into like what a real game looks and feels like. And just like any other game that you play in this type of hobby, the more you play it, the better you get, and the less time it takes for you to get through a game. Yes, trauma with the robots. Yeah, the robot that I've been painting. I used it, or at least the variant of it that I used was the first time I'd ever used it, and it effectively won me the game, and it never even moved. It just sat on top of a building and shot at him every time one of his models moved because it just had an angle on everything. I was also rolling really, really well, right? Like, he shot at it, and like the first thing he did was he moved a big robot and shot at it, and I said, okay, it has an ability where I get my full burst value in reactions, so I get 4 dice to your 2 or 3, and I just beat him on rolls like every time. And then of course I got multiple crits. So yes, trauma with robots. But you know, that's Infinity, right? Like the next time I play Infinity, I'm almost certainly going to have the dice fighting against me, and I'm gonna have a bad time. You get that with dice games and, you know, random number generation. Sometimes you roll great, other times you roll like shit. They are good boys. So the next one that we have to work on, that we have to do, is the one that had that gave Skylar the trauma, right? This one has a heavy machine gun on its back, and that heavy machine gun is what really ruined his day. That and the fact that it had an ability, like really it wasn't the fact that it had a heavy machine gun, because like a heavy machine gun still only gets 1 shot when you react, but it had the ability that lets it get its full 4 shots when it reacts that really made it so devastating. Oh yeah, I gotta cut that off. Alright, I think we're ready for glue. Actually, before we do that, I think I'm gonna get out my hand drill, and we're gonna drill holes in bases and pin the foot of the Shang-Chi that I have here. Okay. Drills. Bits. Probably need a different adapter for a drill bit. And my pinning stuff. There we go. I guess we'll figure out where I'm going to pin this base for her after she's put together. Oh, that is big enough. Okay, cool. I didn't think that would fit there, or in that adapter. Buzz, buzz, why are we buzzing? Whole lot of notifications on my phone. Holy smokes. Okay. We gotta pin you in the right spot so that I don't fucking drill through your foot. gosh. This is nerve-wracking. I'm glad I'm not using my electric drill right now. I would be so afraid that I'm gonna drill through this thing's foot in the wrong spot and in the wrong way. I'm still afraid that I'm gonna drill through its foot in the wrong way. But also, this older metal is hard. They must have changed their mix of metals for the pewter. They're probably using far more aluminum now than they used to. Go just a little bit deeper. Pin is not very deep. Yeah, I think that's about as deep as I want to get it. It's got a snug fit. It's just enough to get a pin in it. I don't want to try and drill too far and then regret it. I need to get a little vacuum so I can vacuum up all my metal dust when I'm working on these. How do I want you to sit on the base? Your stance is almost too wide for the base. Seriously. Aurora, come here.
She's fine.
Quit being under mom's feet. Yeah, quit being under mom's feet. Come here. No. Oh, okay. You can go under. All right. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Touch. Good touch. Paw. Good paw. Okay, other paw. Down. Go on. Down, all the way. No. Sit. Woosa. Chill out. No. Put a rock under her foot? No, I don't want to put a rock under the foot because, see, with plastic models, the super glue is usually enough to hold them into place when they get dropped or they have some kind of like jarring thing happen to them. Metal models have a lot more weight to them. And when you drop a metal model, it tends to just pop off the base. It doesn't matter what super glue you're using. You're usually just gonna lose it. It's gonna go flying. So by pinning the miniature to the base, it has a more secure connection and isn't gonna just fly away if you accidentally drop it or something jarring happens to the model. I've seen many people that have their Warhammer models glued onto the base after they finish painting it, and the only thing holding it there is just the super glue. And then they like hit a really hard bump while they're driving, or they drop their miniature and it just goes dink and like separates from the base. And they're just like, oh, do you have super glue? Like, this has happened to me numerous times as well. Like, it's just the world we live in as hobbyists and miniature painters. Like, your glue isn't going to hold all the time, and eventually you're going to have a model break or come off the base. And it's in those instances where having emergency super glue on you is important. Okay, where is my glue for Infinity? There it is. So yes, while the tactical rock is cool, the tactical rock is not always an effective solution to attaching your miniature to the base. And like the beauty of Infinity models being metal is that, like with our new one, right? They all inherently come with some kind of pin for them to attach into the base, right? Sometimes they're far bigger than this, and sometimes this is usually about as small as they get. But there is still a pin here that we will drill a hole in the base and then connect it to the base, and you just have that extra bit of holding it in going through the base or into the base than just glue holding it to the surface. Regular chatters that they'll just start chanting rock. You know what? Neither can I. I hope that, you know, at some point in time we have tens, maybe even 20s of people viewing the stream, chatting. I'm gonna keep that bar nice and low so that when we achieve it, be like, look guys, we're growing. Not hundreds, tens, 20s. Hell, if I hit regular teens on viewers, I would be ecstatic. God, this pin is so long. Shorten that and change the angle. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's the matter, Stinkerbutt? Yeah? You yell at the trash guy. You make sure he takes all our boxes. What? You're adorable. Hey. What? Look at that. Look how cute that is. Aurora. Oh, okay. She's done. Okay. Nice. And just like that, we just have that little pin going through the base, and then he'll have a dot of glue on his back foot, and that he'll hold that. This will hold him on, and if this thing gets dropped, I doubt he's not gonna come off the base. If anything, his little antenna on his back are gonna come off before he comes off the base. Let's clean up a little bit of excess glue here. And then we will get him attached. Cool. Nice. I wanted to get this thing on a base since I got it. Add a little bit of dotted glue on the underside to really lock that sucker in. And now he is not going anywhere. We'll put him to dry out of the way, and then we'll go ahead and glue our beast hunter together. Oops. So this super glue is Gorilla Glue gel, and while it holds really good for metal models, the drying time on it is a bit longer than I would like. Boy, she's gonna be a bitch to paint up in here. I'm probably gonna have to do some gap filler here under her sleeve as well. Use my secret weapon here. This is a accelerant to make your super glue dry quicker. Huh.
How do you like my paired earring?
Oh no. Oh. Okay. Oh. Alright, how do I want this thing on the base? She's like looking this way, like to her left, or to her right. Right, so when the head gets glued on, she's looking this direction. So I almost like want to turn the model like that, so she's looking in the direction that like she's gonna shoot and stuff. Or do I want her like maybe a little crooked. Right, so like this is the front of our base, because the bases have direction, right? Which is the only reason why I'm putting any thought into like the orientation of the model, because facing for the model is important in Infinity. So like if I position her so that she's looking in the same direction as the facing of the base, right? Here, let's make this a little closer. I'm playing with lots of camera angles tonight. So we can put her like this so that she's looking in the same direction as the facing, which would be toward you guys, right? Or we leave the facing the same, and then you see her whole profile like this. You get to see her sword and all that other stuff during the facing. Maybe we'll do it like an angle, so it's cockeyed a little bit. I think I like that. And then I need to mark the base, roughly where I want the pin. So that I know where to drill. And we gotta do a bit change. To find a bit that matches the width of her pin. That's about right. Yeah, like seeing part of the side of her, I kind of like that view as well. I think it gives you the best of both worlds. Nope. Nope. Wow, I guess the one that I had out was the right one still. Oh no, okay, that's the one. See, I thought I didn't put away the old one. So we need to widen that just a little bit. Perfect. The bow-legged pose is so silly. Yeah, like there, like that. Yeah, I think that's definitely the best option right there. I probably should have had the pin a little bit further back, like back here, just because of how far her sword sticks off the base. Yeah, that's way better. What am I drilling? Usually I'm through the base by this point. I must be drilling through the structure of one of the cutouts. Nope. Just next to it. Oh, yeah, that's way better. Glue. This thing of glue is almost empty too. Now the fun part, the head. It has hardly anything to hold it into place. So we're going to use a nice big glob of it, and then we'll clean it up afterward. I don't know what is going on, where my voice is like giving out on me here. Jesus. That's it. I just have to hold this here. Until it sets. Unless I can get a second pair of hands. See, she's got it right. She's got that third arm. I could use that third arm. Oh. Okay. It looks like it's holding. So we're just gonna let that dry. And there she is, the new Zhanshi Beast Hunter. Put together, ready to go. We'll have to get her primed in the next, over the weekend. Like that right there is the picturesque, like how we're gonna photograph it for sure. But also like that's also a great photograph. But like facing for the game is gonna be like that, like the direction that her sword is pointing, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird sculpt, but also it looks really nice. So like I'm excited to paint it. She will probably be the model that we paint when we get back to painting the main force of my Zhanshi. Speaking of which, I forgot to do this week. New poll. Alright, what are we at here? How long have we been streaming? About 2 hours? $9:30. I'm wondering if I should just call it, or if I want to dive into working on the other robot. did that again. How are we feeling? How are we feeling, chat? What are we thinking? Think we should just call it, or do we want to maybe dive into working on our other little robot? Or maybe we will maybe we can raid a channel. See, if I start painting the robot, I'm probably gonna take it too far. Which makes me almost consider not doing that. So let's see if there's anybody online. Anybody that I know that's painting right now. Painting Kingdom Death. Doomstalkers. Finishing up these Oxal from Relic Blade. Wow, okay. What is this? Painting huge positive measures being painted. Painting Kingdom Death Kingsman. Yeah, I think we're gonna let's raid a channel.
One thing that I find very fun about
does not accept incoming raids. Well, that's annoying. So let's go with what was the other one that we saw? Relic Blade. Does not accept incoming raids. Wow, why don't people accept raids? That's not fun. Reading in 1 minute 10 seconds. Knock. No. Oh, okay. So it looks like we're gonna start raid.
Funny enough, I'm going to use a little bit of that leather contrast paint to also shade down the teeth a little bit and give them kind of a yellowy orange. Multiverse Miniatures rating in. What's up, Multiverse Miniatures and crew? How you guys doing? Thank you so much for the raid. Multiverse miniatures. No problem, no problem. How was your stream? What were you working on? Love seeing people painting not Warhammer. Yeah, I hear you. There's a lot out there. It's not all GW. I will admit that I do paint some Warhammer models, but only Age of Sigmar, fantasy stuff, you know. I don't go for the Space Marines. Not my style. I do a lot of display figures. Right now I'm working on Relic Blade. Good stuff. Worked on some finishing touches for an Infinity model. Nice. Built the new Beast Hunter from Infinity. Very cool. Trying to do some stupid meticulous shading on teeth for literally no reason. I shouldn't be focused on this part of the model right now, but it's like, whatever. I mean, I'm doing final touches as well, so I guess I should be focused on all of the model, but... Teeth? A couple little teeth, though. I also have some AOS stuff. Nice. Oh, Lumineth Realm modes. Cool, cool. Yeah, I've got a Sylvaneth army. I love the Sylvaneth. I think their vibes are super cool. I'm planning on like incorporating them into other games, just because I really like those models. And I'm probably gonna do a bit of Night Hunt, because I think those ghosts are really cool too. They have just like so much that you could do with like other games. Is kind of what I'm thinking. Like I could use them in D&D. I definitely use Stormcast for D&D models. Yeah, exactly. Those are great. Like knights, big knights at that, but knights. Okay, that's teeth done. What else before we move on to the blue? After I finish the Infinity models I'm working on, I'm doing some Warcrow elves next. Ah, cool. Honestly, I've seen Warcrow models before and they all look really cool. Are they the Cyanon? Let's see what these models look like. Yo, those are cool. Whoa, wait a minute, those are really cool. When did those come out? That druid with like the cape and then the leaves around him. That's sick. Wait, those are really cool models. Dang. Then it becomes the thing though, like, if I'm gonna get into a new game like Warcrow, right? Do I go for the same aesthetic that I went for in AOS, which was the tree people, or do I try and find something new, branch out a little bit? Branch out, you know what I mean? Oh, these are the factions. Northern tribes, so Orcs, Hegemony of Embersig. Oh, those are kind of cool. Human, Scion, Yabba, Mount Haven. Ooh, dwarves. Let's see what the dwarves line has. Hey yo, those are good. Very cool. Oh boy. Uh oh. The dwarves are neat. Oh, one's got a little typewriter? You're kidding me. I mean, it's not really a typewriter, it's just a scroll machine.